I said, that's exactly what Ridge gets. But yeah, Ridge was still hating. Donna trying to talk to her sister about her other sister, and he kept interfering, kept giving his 2 cents. I said, wait until he finds out that Eric finna get ready to help. I said, wait until he finds out that his daddy finna get ready to help Katie. Not Katie. Donna was just trying to tell Brooke that she don't want her sisters fighting and stuff like that. She just want them to get along. She just wants peace. And the last thing is that Dylan was thanking Will and Alicia for their help. But hey, y'all. Welcome back to another video. This is for the Bold and Beautiful, January 14th, 2026. First things first, let me know your thoughts down below on this episode. Look, I don't know if y'all seen the picture when it first popped up because it was showing a black screen. But yeah. What did y'all think of the episode? Not too much happened. Eric agreed to design like we knew or like we was hoping he was going to do. I said, that's what Ridge get, because look, stay out of it. I said, that's how people make situations worse. Everybody be interfering and stuff. Everybody be interfering. Donna was trying to tell them, Brooke, her, and Katie or Logan or whatever. He talking about, yeah, but in the fashion industry, everybody know Brooke as Logan. I said, no, everybody know. You know her as Logan. They call her Brooke Logan or Brooke Forrester or whatever. That's what they said when they was over here mentioning them being a couple again and stuff. Hold on. But yeah, I said, I'll be glad when this storyline over with. Because, come on now. I said, I'm glad that Eric agreed, though. That's the thing that I'm waiting on. I'm waiting to see. I'm ready to see when Ridge finds out that he designed it for her, how he gonna react. Is he gonna try to ask him to come back? I mean, to be fair, he did ask him to come back after the fact. But you already don't sit up here through the doggone retirement party. You can't force nobody to retire then be like, oh, here you go, whatever. You already said how you felt. You already showed how you felt anyways. Hold on. But I definitely think that the whole Steffi and Finn seeing them designs is gonna come back. I think it's gonna come back up. Now I don't know, cause y'all know with this writing, you never really know. But okay, on today's episode, Brooke and Rich is just talking and stuff like that. Donna came in. She ends up saying she's concerned about Katie. So Brooke was asking, was it about her health or anything like that? And she was like, no, but it could be because I could tell that it's a lot for her. And based on how she's talking, she's overwhelmed. I said, snitch, why would you go tell her anything? I know y'all sisters and everything, but right now they into it. So why would you go telling her, or them in this case, that she's overwhelmed and everything? And Ridge talking to us, talking about something, of course she's gonna overwhelm. It takes a lot of stuff like that, especially when she doing it by herself. I said, well, she ain't doing it by herself no more. I said, well, she ain't doing it by herself no more. But yeah, she was just expressing her concern. She ends up telling Brooke and Ridge that Katie's overwhelmed. Ridge said, of course, she's overwhelmed. She's in over her head, and she's doing it all alone. That's when they show Eric talking to Katie and everything. Donna was saying how she just wants peace in the family. She don't want neither one of her sisters to be at odds, and she don't want to be in the middle of it. And she doesn't want to choose sides. Brooke said, yeah, I know, and all this other stuff, and I don't want to be at odds either. But Katie is disrespecting me, and it's almost like she's stealing from Ridge and me. I said, forget you and Ridge. How about that? She's stealing from y'all. I mean, like, when you factor in, I don't want to say she's stealing from them, but then when you factor in that they actually did have the trademark and they came in and swooped in and got it, that technically is, well, it's not. It's not stealing because they purchased it and everything. But at the same time, it is stealing because you knew it was theirs. When you seen that they had, that it was available and everything, I was like, yeah, they kind of right and they kind of wrong at the same time. Because it's not stealing because, they paid for it. But it is stealing because you knew that they had it. They had already said they had it and stuff like that. They didn't believe them. Next thing you know, they went and looked it up and everything. And they said that they had it. That they had it and everything. So they lost it. So is that fair? Y'all think that's fair or what? Let me know down below. But yeah, Donna was just trying to talk to Brooke about her sister Katie, and he kept interfering and stuff like that, talking to us. Just kept on. What else? Let's see. I think the last thing I wrote down about Brooke and them was that she said Katie was disrespecting her, and Ridge kept interfering and stuff like that, and saying how she's treating Brooke is not okay and everything. And I said, you should be the last person to talk about how somebody treating somebody. You should be the last person to talk. But okay, we're just going to ignore that, huh? You doing all this and feel this type of way about Katie getting a Logan name. Shoot. I'm stuttering. I said, shoot, she should, look, you deserve worse. You mad about a name. Y'all shouldn't be together right now. Realistically, y'all should not be together. But Katie and Eric. So Katie was on the phone talking to somebody, and Eric came in. He stopped by to see her, and he was just looking around. She ends up talking to him about everything. What else? Let's see. He ends up telling Katie that he believes in her. So she wanted him to look over, the designer's work and stuff like that, and he just was flipping through it, and you could tell he didn't like it. He said, "What he said? Well, I understand why they looking for work." I was like, "Dog, Eric, this horse." But she was like, "Yeah, whatever," and she was just worried because she was worried about her relationship with Brooke. She was worried about them laughing at her and her feeling and stuff, and he was just saying he believed in her, and he asked her what she was looking for. So she started describing what she's looking for. And he was like, "What you're describing would give Forrest the real competition." And that's why they mad. She got them mad. All she got is a name, and they mad already. All she got is a name in the office, and they mad already. The fact that you can have somebody mad and they got more than you says a lot. It says a lot. Now, of course, they'll be mad that they don't swoop in and stole the doggone name up under them, but they should have let it lapse. They should not have let it lapse, but I still, I don't know. I really don't know. What else? Let's see. So Eric ends up saying, you know what? I want to help you. I don't want to just consult. I want to design for you. And together, basically, they could take Logan to the next level and stuff. They could take the lunch, Lord. They could lunch it or whatever. And I'm gonna just summarize because I don't know really. That they could make it successful if they work together. I don't know. That's basically what he said. He was like, he don't want to just consult. He want to design for her. And she was just smiling and happy. I said, yeah. I said, about time. Now, it's time for Donna to find out so she could run tell Brooke since she want to snitch stuff about people being overwhelmed. Since she want to snitch about people being overwhelmed and stuff, don't run in there. Why would you go tell them? Why would you go tell them that she feeling overwhelmed? They just said she couldn't do it. Then as soon as you got in there, Ridge was talking crazy. He said something. I don't know exactly what he said, but he said something about Katie that made it seem like he was doubting her. Well, he is doubting her. Ain't no made it seem. And Donna was telling him something about himself or whatever. And she was like, that's what I mean when I said that, I'm concerned about her and stuff like that. But yeah, the last thing is Dylan them. So I guess they gave her a little tour or something like that. And I said, I was thinking the same thing. Before I seen some people talking about it, when they were saying how Stephanie gonna help get Dylan a job, but she got rid of Deep. But in regards to business, they may be hiring on one level, but not the other level. He was trying to be a designer and stuff. She might be an assistant or something like that. Now, I don't know yet until they actually show it. But yeah, that's different. It's different levels. It's just like if you put in the application for a cashier, but they ain't got no availability, but they got one for a stocking job. That's different. That's different. But yeah, Dylan, I think they was giving her a tour and everything. She was just saying how she like it, and wouldn't it be great if she could work with both Electra and Will? I said, y'all better watch her. I said, what? Then she kept saying we gonna spend some time together, and we already living together and all this other stuff. And Electra was reassuring her that it'll be okay, talking about their friendship and everything. I said, y'all better watch. I said, what? I said, I don't know, y'all. She might, what I said the other day, she want both of them. I don't know. Look, they trying to trick us. That's what it is, y'all. It's gonna be something we least expect. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I was like, I don't know, because she be eyeing Will, but then she over here, I don't know, she trying to make it seem like she don't want him since Electra put her on blast or what. But yeah, what else? Let's see. She ends up thanking them for trying to help her get a job, and she was just talking about how it would be a good thing if they all could work together, and they was talking about it. Will ends up telling Electra basically fascinated with her ability to care about people, especially Dylan and stuff like that. I think he said Dylan had went home or something like that. I said, yeah, she gonna get comfortable. She gonna get too comfortable. She gonna get way too comfortable. That's it, y'all. Let me know y'all thoughts on this episode down below. Stay tuned for the next video. Until next time, deuces. Have a great rest of the day and be safe.